Hello everyone. This video is in continuation to my previous video of CSS3, which was the introduction to cascading style sheets. This video talks about the three ways to insert a style sheet in HTML, which is a file that tells a browser how to render a page. Style tag is used to insert a style sheet. Now there are three ways of inserting a style sheet: inline CSS, internal CSS, and external CSS. Now I am going to explain all these three ways of inserting a style sheet one by one. Inline styles are defined within the style attribute of the relevant element. We'll now have an example to understand the inline cascading style sheets. So for that, we'll start with the HTML file, the HTML tag, then we'll go ahead with the head tag, wherein we are going to give a title to our web page. Let's say inline CSS, and then we'll close the title tag. As usual, we'll close the head tag also, because we don't want to give anything else except the title in the head tag. Now we'll start with the body tag. Now, as I have told you that inline styles are defined within the style attribute of the relevant element. That means if I have to change the heading which I have to give on my web page, for that I need to use the head tag, wherein I am going to use style as an attribute. So suppose I want to give some style to the text on my in the heading of my web page. So here I want the color to be blue, and then if I want the text to be aligned in center. So you can see that I have given the style, I have used the style attribute in my heading. Now here, have you noticed two things? One is the property, that is the color, and the value, that is blue, is being segregated using the colon. And two types of styles, that is the color of the text and alignment of the text, is being segregated using a semicolon. Now we are going to give the heading that we have to write. This is a heading. Now we'll close the heading tag. Similarly, now if I have to give some style to the text which is written in the paragraph, so for that I'll use the paragraph tag and the attribute style in this. Now here I want the color of the text to be red, and this is a paragraph. We'll close the paragraph tag and body tag. Finally, we'll close the HTML tag as well. Now I'll save this file as inline.html. Now this file already exists, so it is going to ask me whether you want to replace it or not. So I'll say yes, I want to replace this file. Now I'll go to Google Chrome and I'll press Ctrl and O. Now it is going to ask me which file I have to use. So I am going to use my file inline.html. Now you can see very clearly that the heading has come to the center, as I have chosen center line. The color of the text of the heading is blue, and the color of the text of paragraph is red in color. So that is what I wanted to be on my screen. If in case one single HTML page has a unique style, in that case an internal style sheet is being used. The internal style is defined inside the style element inside the head section. Let us now talk about the second way to insert cascading style sheets in our HTML file. An internal style sheets may be used if one HTML page has a unique style. The internal style is defined inside the style element that will be inside the head section. We'll start with HTML, then we'll start the head section, the title, my first CSS. Now here in the head section, we are going to define the internal CSS. For that, we require the style element. In the style element, we are going to define, like suppose if I want some changes in the body of the text we want, or the background color we want. So I want the background color to be yellow, or let's just say linen. Now about the heading, I want the color of the text of the heading to be maroon, and the text alignment, or I can say I want the text alignment to be started from the left hand side only, but little bit of margin needs to be left from left hand side. Let us say 40 pixels. So for that I am going to write margin left and 40 px. Px stands for pixels. Now for paragraph, I want the text color to be blue, let us say. Okay, now the style element will have a closing tag, and for that matter head tag as well. Now I will start the body tag, wherein I am going to write the text which is to be displayed on the screen. So here I want the heading, my first heading, my first, we can say CSS heading, and closing of the heading tag. Now I want the paragraph. This is a paragraph, and we'll close the paragraph tag, then we'll close the body tag, and finally we'll close the HTML tag. I'll save this file with the name css7.html. Now you can see this file is already there, so I'm going to replace it. After that, I'm going to my Chrome and I'll press Ctrl O. Which file I have to use? CSS7. Now you can see here the background is linen in color. The text heading is maroon in color and 40 pixels have been left. And you can see the paragraph is blue in color. External styles are defined within the link element inside the head section of an HTML page. An external style sheet can be written in any text editor and must be saved with an extension .css. The external .css file should not contain any HTML tag. Let us now have a look at the third way of using cascading style sheets in HTML5. That is the external CSS. Now this external style sheets, you are aware we can change the look of the entire website by changing just one file. Which means that unlike inline CSS and internal CSS, the commands of external CSS are written in a separate file, and then it is being linked to the original HTML file wherein it is to be used. For that matter, now let us make a cascading style sheet file first, and let us see how it has to be incorporated into the HTML file as an external CSS. For that, first of all, we are going to make the cascading style sheet. In that, we are not going to use any of the HTML tag. We are just going to write the commands which are used to which are going to give style to the entire website. Like we are going to use body, and I want the background color of the body to be light blue. And the heading, wherever is the heading on the website, wherever, the color of the heading should be navy or say red, and the margin which has to be left is say 20 pixels. Now wherever we have the paragraph, I want the text to be, I want the color of the text to be green, and I want the margin to be left say 40 pixels for this. Now these are the changes that will be done on the entire web page, the website. That is, wherever the body is there, it is to be light blue color. Wherever the heading is there, it is going to be red in color and margin 20 pixels. Wherever it is going to be a paragraph, a new paragraph, the color will be green, margin left is 40 pixels. Now let us save this file. Now we are going to save this file with the name css8.css. That means the extension name that we are going to give to this file will be CSS. Now let us make our main external file, main HTML file. For that, we are going to write the HTML tag, then the head tag, and the title we are going to write my first CSS, and we'll close the head tag here, and the body tag, in which we are going to write H1. This is a heading. Then paragraph. This is a paragraph. We'll close the body tag and we'll close the HTML tag as well. Now where are we going to link that CSS file to this HTML file? We are going to use the head tag for that. So here we are going to use the link element. So link rel. Now rel shows the relationship between the two files, the tag and the href. So it is the style sheet, and href is my css-8.css. Now this is the name of the file that we have made for styling the website. Now this we are going to link with our HTML file, and let us see how it is going to work on it. So I'll save this file as css8.html. Save. Now I'll go to our Google Chrome and we'll press Ctrl O, and we are going to use css8.html. Let us see what happened. Okay, style sheet, relation, href, all set. And oh, I forgot to close the title tag here. Okay, file, save as css.html. You want to replace? Yes. I will go to the Google Chrome and Control O, and CSS8 we are going to run. Great. Now you can see the background color is light blue, which we have mentioned. The heading color is red, and if you can see, the pixels that have been left in the left margin is 20. Then we have the paragraph, which is blue in color, and pixels which we left from the left margin is 40.